Hi, I'm Danny.
And I'm Si. Welcome to Business in the Brew, a podcast dedicated to all things business with the occasional cuppa.
We take a business story, theory, or something we just want to chat about and give it a dusting of our own special personality and sense of humour, combined with our experience and knowledge. We're both business graduates and have run our own businesses for many years. We can't wait for you to listen. Hello.
Hello.
You're fed up with me, aren't you?
What? Now, why would that be?
It's because you've been stuck with me for a really long day. Anyway, what cheery,
I'm stuck with you for even longer driving back.
cheery subject would you like to talk about today?
I did want to have this work in progress title was Who's Killing the Planet?
Oh, that was aggressive. I don't know. Is it Roger Rabbit?
No, but it's not Roger the Rabbit, no.
His name wasn't Roger the Rabbit, it was Roger Rabbit. Who framed Roger Rabbit? There's no
Was it?
Yes.
Was that his? Oh, of course, that was his whole name, yeah.
That's like calling you Simon the Price.
Well, I don't mind
Fine. Anyway.
that. Okay.
So it's not Roger the Rabbit.
And this is about reframing some of the guilt that we feel. That's what it is.
Oh, that's great. I could do it getting rid of some guilt. Carry on.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So this isn't a high pressure. Oh God, woe is us. This is.
Honestly, I live with a lot of guilt from a lot of different things. So if you can get rid of any of it, that would be stunning.
Well, do you know what? I'm going to try my best.
Okay,
because
fine.
as I was writing this, I had you in mind.
Oh, did you? Sweet. What depressing thing can I tell her today?
Right. So we kind of looked at the process. Process of buying a new phone, or you're buying a dress from fast fashion store, or even a sandwich.
I had a lovely sandwich for lunch.
So did I, actually. Very simple choices.
Yes, everyday choices.
Very ordinary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's become ordinary. Becomes so simple. But behind the choice is unbelievably huge machinery to make it happen.
My brain.
So you imagine the requisition, if you like, the requisite action is that you buy a product you have to consume regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Because stuff's being pushed at you. Yeah.
Yep.
You're not just buying a sandwich to feed yourself. Yeah. You're keeping an entire infrastructure going. So I'm kind of looking at this as the problem isn't actually that we want too much, but it's that the corporations must sell us too much.
Wow. Also, and I have this question. When people say, like, don't eat meat, well, some of the animals were already dead. Like,
what do you mean? Before we ate them?
Well, obviously. No, like, some stuff already exists. I don't buy from Shein. They've already manufactured 16 tons of fabric. There's nothing you can do if I don't buy from them. Mm-hmm. All that fabric's just going into landfill anyway. So when becomes the point where you're supposed to say no?
Justify?
No, I don't buy anything from Shein, mostly because their sizing's completely off and I get very confused.
I've got to eat this meat because all these animals are dead.
Well, no, I mean, you make me sound like a really bad person. I'm just saying, what's the point at which my decision to buy it or not buy it actually makes a difference?
This isn't about being active. I'm just kind of reframing.
Just curious. It was a question. Jesus. I'm trying to make myself feel better about my fast fashion addiction, which I don't have, to be clear.
No, I didn't think you did.
Can't buy anything from China because it size me.
So there's almost it's a kind of flipping it around because we're often made to feel really guilty. Dispose of that wrapper carefully. Recycle your phone. Yeah, recycle your clothes. Yeah. Do all that. Pressure's all on you at the end of the chain.
Yeah.
But actually, it's the stuff that happened much further up the chain. So I'm kind of reframing it.
Yeah.
To maybe look at why we consume instead of why we should consume, rather who created the flood of disposable products?
Yes.
Yeah. Who engineered the economy so that it collapses unless consumption grows every year?
That is true.
Yeah. And who profits from planned obsolescence?
Oh, that's like when your washing machine breaks after a year instead of lasting the 25 years it should last.
Exactly, and the push for short product life cycles.
Like my phone, I can only have my phone for like 20 months. No, like 2 years.
Yeah.
It needs replacing after that because something's broken or something doesn't work as well anymore.
Quite. Yeah.
It's not about keeping up with tech. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or I've overused it, one of those.
Yeah. So basically it puts corporations, production systems and growth economics right in the middle of all that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of what happens is you buy without thinking about it, other than I want that because it's being pushed at me. So the supply side, if you like, what's called the push economy, is going on, which is basically marketing is being used as a weapon.
To be clear, you're removing a lot of guilt from me as a consumer, but you're giving me it all back as a marketeer. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Carry on.
So after the Second World War, corporations realised they needed to have continuously expanding markets. If you imagine, the war created a lot of opportunities for growth because of the supply towards war. Then meant there was an awful lot of money generated in that.
But it was unsustainable demand.
In peacetime, right? Where else do you make your money? So psychological advertising came in, and emotional branding, and the creation of needs that didn't exist before. Yeah, turning being as a simple person being into buying, and actually that almost being your defining. You become a defining element within the process. So there's some examples of all of this, kind of wrapping it all up into some campaigns. De Beers diamond campaign, Diamonds Forever. It isn't, but Diamonds Forever becoming that massive part of it, which is where the James Bond film came in, because that was actually extending that into film. The name of it.
You just ruined James Bond for me.
Planned obsolescence in appliances and tech. Hoover
pretty much
started that. I believe Hoover started it. It might have been other small appliance manufacturers, but pretty much Hoover turned that industrial. I remember that my mum had a vacuum cleaner for about 30 years. Absolutely reliable until she decided she wanted something a little bit more modern.
Now she regrets her choice.
Fast fashion, turning 4 seasons into 52 micro seasons. Yeah. And there's some big brands involved in that. Consumers didn't spontaneously crave more. They didn't.
We were trained to.
Yeah.
Well, to be clear, there are some people who always want
systematically taught to, yeah. So the second element is growth is a structural imperative. So behind this is the modern day capitalism is measured by infinite product growth. So you see what happens on the stock market. You have a bad year. People dump their stock. The stock becomes worth less.
In theory, if inflation never went up, you'd never need to grow, would you? You could just, as long as you were comfortable with what you were already earning.
But you never are, because shareholders always want more. And
you're very greedy people.
Man, yeah.
Not me personally, I don't have any shares.
Stock markets demand quarterly increases. We know that. CEOs are paid to maximise growth, not sustainability. So even if consumers slow down, companies must invent new ways to push more product lines, faster replacement cycles, artificial innovation, and disposable versions of durable goods. Vape sticks, phones, washing machines, general appliances, razors, and even cars.
Are they designed to go obsolete?
Well, no, they're a durable item, but they're becoming almost disposable. You're right, you're not throwing them away, but ultimately they are destined for recycling.
Yeah, so, it used to be you pick up a 25-year-old car for a run around and that was fine. These days you can't do that. Yeah,
but everything's sold in the dream. So growth isn't optional. It's baked into the system. The next, if you like, the next element is that real costs are actually externalized. So profits can rise, but the planet absorbs the damage. So consumers pay two prices, therefore. They pay a financial price, buying it, and then having to rebuy it on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So ends up being disposed of. The environmental side of it pays for it, basically with pollution, health impacts, climate change, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But the companies only account for the first part, which is the
Well, they wash
buying.
their hands of it because
Yeah,
it's
that's
our
right.
problem when we've
Yeah.
got rid of it.
Everything else gets externalized to ecosystems destroyed for raw extraction, wildlife displaced or eliminated to actually supply, communities poisoned by waste, climate destabilized by emissions, consumer gets the object, planet pays for the rest of it. It's effectively what happens. So you get pollution at every stage. Yeah. Even extraction, production, distribution, consumption, and disposal. That's where it is. And 80 to 90% of total environmental damage happens, get this, before the consumer even touches product.
Yeah, as individuals, we get a lot of the onus.
We get a lot
on
of the
us.
flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we are not, we're not disposing of something carefully the way it should be. But actually isn't often
We're not dealing
prescribed.
with 20% of the problem.
Yeah. So blaming individual choices dramatically misrepresents the true system of harm, is what's happening. And then I looked into why the consumer-blame narrative
That's a hyphen.
is there. Yeah, I know, hyphen. Right. Oil companies popularised the term carbon footprint to shift blame to individuals.
Oh.
Yeah. Wasn't consumer
Very
groups.
clever.
Plastic producers fund recycling campaigns despite knowing that less than 10% will ever be recycled. Corporations fund messages that focus on behavioural changes, not structural change. Yeah.
They're trying to make me feel guilty while making me buy their stuff.
Well, that's my next point. It's not accidental, it's strategic, and we're made to feel the guilt. And so, the habitat side, the extraction part of it, we talked about mining previously, we talked about, fishing and that kind of thing. So you get the extraction side of things. I don't really need to go into it in too much detail, but you've got forest destruction, rivers poisoned, oceans contaminated. We know about that with microplastics. Rare earth mining creates landscapes being reshaped.
Yeah,
that's to feed the electronic side of things. Species are raised for monoculture, so palm oil monoculture, destroying rainforest to put a monoculture in, and that's displacing. Not just orangutans.
And Greg's donuts.
Yeah, but a whole pile of animals and plants and birds and the effect on the soil as well. So it's kind of like the Earth's a crime scene and the evidence is absolutely everywhere. Yeah. And the perpetrators are hiding in plain sight. So I'm not going to go and depress your ass any further. I really don't want to do that. But shift the narrative from consumption to production. So it's not all about consumption, but about production, where responsible production could turn the tide.
Yes.
When we hope that some redesign can come in. So I know we've talked about, it's not about using a metal straw.
Yes.
Or switch to paper straws or whatever. The circular economy, mandatory product durability standards, right to repair laws. Some of the right to repair crap that's not. Sorry about saying that, but you've got certain phone companies who make it virtually impossible to repair the phone. They don't want you in there repairing your phone because you're going to extend its life.
Yeah.
Pollution penalties. Well, we know that backfires anyway. You've got what's happening with the water companies. So actual penalties, not insults.
Yeah.
And banning planned obsolescence. I mean, that is really
wrong. That's building something that is going to break. That's wrong.
Yeah. But, shifting GDP growth to well-being and sustainability metrics, I don't think that's even practical.
No, it's not.
It's just too soft. It's too
wishy-washy. We work on a financial economy.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. But there's a thing coming in called demarketing. Have you noticed this? That the water companies and electric energy companies are using it.
Mm-hmm.
Use less water. Turn the tap off. Put this in your system. Use less energy. Switch your lights off at night, and turn down your thermostats. That's demarketing.
Okay.
They're telling you to use less, but You won't get consumer electronics telling you to use less. You won't get people who make sweets.
So they basically know that it makes no difference whatsoever.
Yeah. So there's been this kind of like kind of gravitating towards, look, this is what we should be doing. Well, in reality, it's not going to happen, is it? Yeah.
No.
So it's and there's some other examples that we're told that saving the planet's up to us. Recycle better, drive less, take shorter showers, skip the plastic straw, buy the greener version, use the reusable version. I think these are things that we think we can do and actually kind of do, which assuages our guilt. But it's not our guilt.
Not actually solving the problem.
Our guilt. Yeah. We've got to stop thinking it's our guilt. Yeah.
So you can think of it as you wanting to help, but don't take all the blame for it.
Exactly. So there's no answer to it, but I just wanted to kind of put it in as an episode because I deal with manufacturers. They are doing everything they can, but they're often small to medium enterprises. Mm. They're not huge corporations.
No.
I work with some that are fairly significant. Some of them are extractors, but they're careful about their extraction. Of course, they're extracting in the UK, but others are manufacturing. They're manufacturing. They're being very careful. They're removing plastics. They're making the
effort.
They're making the effort. So it kind of needs to go way, way above. Anyway, so I really don't want to get depressing about it. Yeah, but I'm not. I've actually written this. And I felt quite positive,
yes.
In spite of all that. It's just nice to kind of flip the narrative.
Yeah.
Just go, actually, no, it's not because I'm just consuming.
But equally, it doesn't mean that we shouldn't all put effort into being a bit more sustainable and a bit less wasteful.
Yeah. And there are some what are called active shareholders. Well, they're not active, what are they called?
Give me a clue.
Shareholders that are participating in helping a company to clean itself up.
I don't know what that's called, but okay, I get the
active
principle.
Share. Basically, active share. I've forgotten it because this isn't actually in my notes. But you've got a corporation that's basically, there was a story years ago about someone who got killed by a truck. The truck was owned by a large corporation. The corporation really kind of didn't really accept liability for it, I think. There was an active shareholder group that influenced other shareholders and basically said, we're not having this.
What we're going to do
we're going to do something about it. And then they started putting their drivers on cycle training to get them to see cyclists from their angle, not from the driver's angle. Yeah. But it's just, you can do things, and having an active shareholder base that actually does more than just cream off their dividends is what's needed more, but so many of them are just sitting back waiting for the payments. So it's just more about
being aware.
Me just wanting to share my thoughts on it, and that
I'm happy to release any guilt I feel in life.
Yeah.
Could we start with the guilt
I feel over
bad parenting now?
Oh, bad parenting. Well, we'll just do that as a separate episode, but we're going to monetize it, and we're going to put a limited company thing on.
I've told you before, it's our podcast. We can talk about what we want.
But overall, just stop feeling so guilty.
Okay, thanks.
Because there's not a lot we can do if we're having stuff forced down the throats.
That's true. It's all apparently nefarious, and marketeers are bad. I'm going to feel guilty about that instead.
Sleep well.
Thank you.
Thanks for supporting us by downloading and listening to this episode.
And a massive thank you also to Donnie, Emily, Nat and Lewis and the BTD Studios for all your expertise in bringing our podcasting dream to reality.
We'd love it if you commented on this episode, as we'd really like to know what you think and what you might like us to cover in future episodes.
And we'll see you on the next one.